Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Top 5 Rant. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. I am sorry, but it's just I've been lazy, procrastinating, working on my book. So, I'm sorry if this video is a little bit uncoordinated because I was not planning on doing this video today. So, if you see my phone right here, it's because I am looking at my my things about this category, because since again I wasn't kind of planning on doing this. This is kind of a last minute thing that that popped into my mind. I should probably do a video before I forget. I should actually do one of these videos before I not do it. So I didn't have time to prepare like I usually do with videos with categories like this. So if you see my phone right here, I am sorry, but that's where my information about this category is. Well, you probably want to know what this category is, I should say. Well, in this episode of Top 5 Rant, I'm talking about my top 5 favorite Resident Evil games. Now, I've done quite a few, I think a couple of other Resident Evil themed top 5s, but this is my top 5. Well, so why not add another? So, this is my Resident Evil games top 5. Wow, I mixed that up. My top 5 Resident Evil games. Now, again, if you see me with my phone, it's because I'm looking up on Wikipedia the information about the top 5 games, because that's how last minute this video is. So let's get started. Better late than never. Number 5. My number 5 favorite Resident Evil game would have to be Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles. This game is a Nintendo Wii game, and it came out for the PS3, but I played it for the Wii. It came out in... Sorry. Like I said, if you see me looking over here, or if my phone's right here, I'm looking at my source material, which is Wikipedia. It came out November 17th, 2009 for the Wii. That's when I played it. Now, the Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles is, it serves as a prequel for Resident Evil 4, which I'll tell you later. But it has like, it's like 3 games in one, I should say. This is a sequel to Umbrella Chronicles, kind of, but, it's let's just get started. It has 3 games in one. You have Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica, and then its very own game, which is, in this kind of style of game, it's like an arcade. It's like a video game collection of, you know how in some of those games where it's like, you know, that Sonic thing where it comes with, or Mario collection thing where it comes with like 5 games of Sonic and 5 games of Mario. It's something like this, but there's 3. You have Resident Evil 2, which is pretty much the entire game of Resident Evil 2, but like most of the important parts in, and it's rail shooting. So all you see, you're just moving. All you see is you just see like a camera moving around. And when you move your Wii controller, it moves the camera around, and you use it to shoot. It's a rail shooter, pretty much. But it pretty much takes pretty much all the important parts of Resident Evil 2 and just I don't know. It just takes Resident Evil 2 and compresses it into a smaller game. But pretty much Darkside Chronicles is pretty much a game where, if you haven't played the full game of Resident Evil 2 or any of the main Resident Evil games, this is a game for you. And it compresses Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica into smaller versions of the original games, and you play through it. And then it has its own story, which acts as a prequel to Resident Evil 4, because you see Leon Kennedy actually, he's like starting in the government, I think, yeah. And then of course he meets Jack Krauser, so this is way before Resident Evil 4. and it kind of details their adventures when they first met. Yeah. And it's number 5 because, I don't know. Like I said, this is last minute. I'm just trying to figure it out. But Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles was pretty cool. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica, again, like me, these are perfect this game is perfect for people that hasn't played the main games like me, so I thought it was pretty fun. So I was happy. Now moving on, before I start rambling. Number 4. My number 4 favorite game would have to be the first of the Chronicles series, which is Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. It came out for the Wii, and it also later came out for the PlayStation. It came out in America on the Wii, November 13th, 2007. That's when I started playing it. Now, just like Dark Side Chronicles, it compresses most of the main games into one game. Well, it's pretty much where you pick one story. Like, okay, it has the main menu of Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and then it has its own story. Well, so the menu pops up, and you say Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 3, and then it has its own story. You can it's like if you want to play Resident Evil or Resident Evil 0, depending on how what kind of order you want to go, because Resident Evil 0 becomes before Resident Evil, but I think Resident Evil came out before Resident Evil 0. Actually, it did, I think. Yeah. So whichever way you want to, or if you just want to play Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, you can click on it and then you play through in a compressed version of that game, and then you can also play its own game, which and then it has like a small side game just about Albert Wesker. Just like I said about Dark Side Chronicles, I like the Umbrella Chronicles, but I have to give it the 4th spot because it has more games, and it was a lot more fun to me than Dark Side Chronicles, because Resident Evil 0 was pretty good. Pretty much it just had more games than Dark Side Chronicles, and it took a while longer to beat. And like I said for Dark Side Chronicles, if you haven't played any of the full-length main games, like Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 1 through 3, and Code Veronica. 0, 1, 2, and 3, and Code Veronica. If you haven't played those, these 2 games are really good for you to play, because they're just compressed versions of the main game. But overall, it's pretty good. Alright, setting up for my next one. See, like I said, this is last minute. Number 3. My number 3 favorite Resident Evil game would have to be Resident Evil 0. Now, I have to be honest. I haven't completed this game. Well, first, I should tell you when it came out. It first came out for the Nintendo GameCube for November 12th, 2002, then it came out for the Wii. But I played it, not when it was released, but like a couple of years late, maybe, I don't know when, but I played the Nintendo GameCube version. Now, Resident Evil 0 kind of serves as like a prequel-ish to Resident Evil, because it explains, if you guys played Resident Evil, which I haven't, but you actually meet up with Rebecca Chambers in the first game, but you don't know how she got there. Well, Resident Evil explains what she was doing, and then how she got to the mansion. Now, this game, like I said, I had to be honest, I haven't fully completed the GameCube version. I only made it through the first half of the game, because the GameCube game is 2 this long, and I only made it through the first half. Pretty much I just basically made it through the first half. But then of course I played it in Umbrella Chronicles. I played through most of the game, so I got the gist of it. But I still kind of want to I still want to play through the main series, throughout the whole thing. So eventually I will. But the main reason why I like this game is because it introduces a very cool character, Billy Cohen. He is one of my favorite characters besides Leon. Just the only thing is, he's only in this game, and of course, and it's well, technically he is, but he's also in the GameCube version. He's also in the book, but he's only in Resident Evil 0 and the book counterpart. So that kind of makes me sad and mad at the same time, because it's sad because last time you see him is just at the end of Resident Evil 0, and there's nothing. You hear nothing of him at all. You don't know if he's alive or dead, which makes me mad, because you have a pretty cool character that you can probably base an entire new game off of. Well, in the realm of Resident Evil, I should say. But you have a character that you've only used once, and you can make another game like Resident Evil 4 or 5. Or you can make a game where he meets up with Rebecca Chambers again. I mean, come on. I would really love to play a game with Billy Cohen again. Or you can bring him back to where he meets Chris and Leon. That would be awesome. Because of course, like most people, I like Chris too. But Leon is my favorite. But I think I've done a Resident Evil... Yeah, I did. And if you watch it, like I said, Chris, Billy, and Leon were the three. Chris was the third, Billy was the second, and Leon was the first. So yeah. But yeah, I really love that game. But it has to be number 3 because there was a couple of other games I liked. Now, as I set up for the next one. Now, I hate to repeat myself, which I probably always do in these videos. This was last minute, so don't blame me. Sorry, my Batman voice came out there for a minute. I'm gonna blame that on Matt. He's one of my friends, but yeah. Number 2. The number 2 spot would have to go to Resident Evil 6. Now this is pretty much this was the newest game that came out for the 360 and the PS3. It both came out worldwide October 2nd. Now, the reason why I love this game, and it was really tough for me to put it in number 2 because if it wasn't for the other game, it would have probably been in number 1. Resident Evil 6 pretty much continues on of Resident Evil 5, but it's in many different places. 3 different story modes. You have Chris is back, Chris Redfield. Then you have Leon Kennedy's. Oh, and Jake. Yeah, Jake Wesker. Well, that's not his actual. I don't remember his actual last name, but you find out that Wesker has a son named Jake. I'm sorry. I am so sorry about this. But now that's gonna bug me. Jake Mueller. Sorry. That's his actual name, but he is Albert Wesker's son. Um, and it's like this game is so freaking awesome because it just introduces new characters and bring back old characters, for crying out loud. I mean, for this entire for this game, you have three story modes, and then after you beat the three, you can unlock Ada's story mode. So you have Leon you have Leon Kennedy that comes back. Chris Redfield comes back for the sixth one after you play 5. So it's not kind of big surprise, but it's pretty cool. And then, but it's really cool because he actually meets Leon. So it's a pretty cool game to actually have those two. And then you have Jake Mueller, Albert Webster's son, which was cool. I played as him, but that's not the point. Then you have Ada Wong that's back, which is, you haven't seen her since 4. And then you have Sherry Birkin, for crying out loud, the little girl that you had to save from her own mutated father in Resident Evil 2. She's back. And that was really cool. So, this game was one of my... Oh, man, I should have put this as my number 1. But, maybe it should be. I don't know. Well, there's no... I probably have to. I don't know. But this game was just really amazing. I mean, they had it to where you could run and shoot. It was just, this whole game was really cool. So yeah, it was really hard for me to put in this game in number 2. I probably made a big mistake putting it as number 2. But yeah, number 2. Resident Evil 6, one of my favorite games. Now for my number 1 Resident Evil video game, number 1, it would have to go to Resident Evil 4, which is came out originally for the GameCube. I bought it for the PS2 when it was released for the PS2, and it was released for the PlayStation 2, October 25th of 2005, which that's my sister's birthday, so I did not know that. I have to be honest, again, I have not beaten this game at all. Yeah, you're probably thinking, why is a game that I not beaten my number 1? Well, the thing is, I've played it. I probably only have gotten through halfway through the game, and and I haven't touched it since. It's the reason why is because I watched quite a few other people beat it, namely just one person, and it's just. The game was so good, I can still kind of remember him playing it and beating it. And I think it's just that, I've seen people beat it, and plus other games came in the way, and other things came, so I never got a chance to beat it. But that's not the main reason why. I like it. It's Leon Kennedy's, second game, but his first game by himself. Because you had, in Resident Evil 2, you had him, but you could also play as Claire Redfield. So that was pretty cool, which, again, I never played Resident Evil 2, so I can't really say, but I played, yeah. So in Resident Evil 4, you actually get to play just as Leon Kennedy. Which, actually, Resident Evil 4 was my very first Resident Evil game I played. So, I'm kind of biased. Well, I don't know if I would call that biased, but yeah. I make no sense sometimes, don't I? But yeah, it was just the very first game I played, and that's why I like Leon so much, because he just is just a so cool, really cool character, and it was just really cool. The story of it, and plus back then, I had the same problem with what I had with Dead Space back then, because when I was like I was pretty much almost half my age playing that game. It was still a pretty cool game, but some of the things just freaked me the hell out, like with Dead Space. But hey, I made it through Dead Space, even though there's a few things that I jumped. And I think only one scene where I'm like, ah, yeah. But I made it through it. Sean, Fred, Patrick, Matt, I think Casey, but I'm talking to you guys. I made it through it. Now they want me to play 2 and 3. Maybe. I will. When I get the chance. I don't know. Wow, that just rambled on. I should just do my ramble video next after this. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 is my favorite. But it's a close tie for Resident Evil 6 and 4. But 4 is pretty cool. But eventually I will beat it, because my plan is, because I kind of want to, we have PS3, I have a PS3, and on the PlayStation Network store, you can buy, 1, 2, I think you can buy 0 also, but I know you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and Code Veronica. So, that's all the games on there. And I think you can also, I think they also have Code Veronica X. I probably should just buy that instead of Code Veronica, because Code Veronica X is just Code Veronica, but with more stuff. But I want to buy all those games on the PlayStation Network and just start from the beginning and just play through every single game. That's my plan when I get money and a job. Yeah. I'm probably going to have to do a Rambles video because I have a lot of things. Oh well. Yeah, I better stop before I fully ramble on like I'm doing right now. So, yeah, those are my top 5. My top 5 Resident Evil games. Now, yeah, I'm just going to save it for my Rambles video. Yeah, that's it. My top 5 Resident Evil games. I don't know when I'm going to be doing another one because it's just like I said. Yeah. I'm not very good at keeping up with this stuff now. I don't know. But I'm still doing them. Yeah. But yeah. Well, this is awkward. Okay, like this video, subscribe, like this video, share it, write down in the comments down below what favorite Resident Evil game, what's your favorite Resident Evil games, or your least favorite Resident Evil games, your choice. Like I said, like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel, and like my Facebook page, and I will see you whenever. I know it's terrible to say, but it's the truth. So until then, see ya.